You're in the balcony.
Totally. Hey, what's this about this movie being in another language?
Yeah, you have to read what they're saying?
Sounds pretty weird. I'm gonna go get some popcorn.
Okay.
Excuse me, sorry.
Que me sientas, estar
You
contigo.
are
Ven a mí, pequeña florecita, quiero tenerte más cerca.
Subtitles. They're not just un-American. They kill.
Let's start the show. It's Friday. We have too much to do. We have so many movies to talk about. Nobody 2, Red Sonja, Strange Harvest. I guess Alan saw some movies somewhere. I don't know. And typical Alan is late.
What is it with you, Alan? Same thing every week. Get over here now. Alan.
Oh, you finally decide to show up.
Yes, I did. Oh, poor me. Hey, somehow I survived because I read 2 movies this week.
Read 2 movies. What, subtitles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. That's, subtitles. That's why I played that video. Because I saw a movie with subtitles too. It was very good. It was a very different experience than when I first saw Shin Godzilla. We'll talk about Shin Godzilla later. In fact, I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We also have an interview today with the director of the Tura Satana documentary. If you know who Tura Satana is, then we can hang out. I'd love to hang out with you. Tura Satana is an actress, Asian actress, actually, Alan.
Yes.
Who starred in
mixed, if I
yes,
read
mixed. Starred in Faster Pussycat Kill, directed by Russ Meyer. She is a statuesque woman, and she's ample. That's all I'm gonna say. She is ample. So there you go. But let's see who's here in the chat before we get started with news and then reviews. So here we go.
All right, from Press M to start. Good morning, Film Threat. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. Thanks,
you're
man.
Barmy for 2 ready for the Dune review. The movie doesn't come out till next month.
Yeah,
So
we will review. Look, Alan and I will be doing it in September. The review. Thank you.
Who will come out on top?
We'll find out.
From Necro Soldier 13 for a 99 super chat. 99-cent super chat. No message. JTPRX, the Galactus bucket is in the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest popcorn bucket.
They paid for that? They paid to have that in the...
You would think there'd be bigger ones just for the stunt.
Right.
It's probably the biggest retail popcorn bucket.
There you go. And here we go.
Like, share,
Lord
subscribe. Yes. From Lord Thoth, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. Buy our merch, shop.filmthread.com.
Thank you, Lord Thothy. We appreciate you. Lots in the shop. In fact, we have our back to school collection that's coming soon. It's going to replace where Attack of the Dock is.
Yeah.
A back to school collection. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to see it. Lori, look, she's raising her hands, clapping. She has been waiting to put the back to school collection up there. And I finally said, fine, we'll do it. Back to school collection, along with our Spirit of Halloween collection. And the summer collection will be retired. So get your Jaws inspired shirt. There you go.
I recently came into some money, so I'll be placing an order today. Yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice. And also a thing just to remind people, I have an insane schedule for Dragon Con, August 28th through the 31st in Atlanta, Georgia. This is my panel schedule. I did post on social media. I'll post on the Film Threat and my personal Instagram to let people know this is my schedule. The David Lynch one I will try to make. It's actually during our show, so I'll probably have to do the show early that day on Friday, Alan, with you, and then head off to do that panel. Going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited. That is a packed panel. I can't even. Lori designed this graphic. That's the best you can do. There is no better version of that graphic you can make. It's really clever. So
Right.
I will see you at Dragon Con. Should I make a banner for that?
Yes. And then when are you flying back? I'm just asking for the Monday show.
I will not be on the Monday show on Versus. So it'll be a solo Alan show.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen to be Labor Day, would it?
It is.
Ah, okay. So it'll be a short show.
It'll be a short show, but because it's a holiday. But you can, get someone to be on with you.
Yeah.
Well, just you and Dante or something. Look at that.
Gore at Dragon Con.
So you get to see us do this. Gary talked about going to Dragon Con. I don't know why he doesn't go. Neurotic. So there you go. All right. That's enough. Let's see. I got to set this up here. Why don't you here? We have another couple more chats come in. Alan, you read
All right,
that.
let's do this. If I could find the ones we okay, here we go. From Paul Piercer Rocks for 199. Thoughts on Cronenberg's Naked Lunch? I can guarantee I've not seen it.
I have seen it. I saw it, and I didn't completely love it when I saw it, and I haven't seen it since. So I'll just say I need to see it again.
Yeah.
I saw it when it first came out. I was sort of mixed on it. I prefer, look, the Cronenberg stuff that stands out, The Fly,
yeah,
Videodrome, Scanners. Naked Lunch just didn't do it for me.
Matthew Hammond, Guns Up was good trailer on Film Threat trailers.
Yes, we have a
channel.
Yeah, we do have a trailers and an interview channel. In fact, I did an interview with a producer named Nick Messina. He has a company where you can pitch him movies. He funds movies. Let me bring that up because I want people to know about this. People that tune in early, you get the early show. But let me show you this. You get, special treatment here with stuff. So let me go to our channel. You go to Film Threat. Go to Film Threat. Scroll down. Oh, we're live. Look at that. Wait, can we click on that right now?
We
Oh, we're live. Click on
go.
What's going on? Click on that right now. What's going on? Oh, we're live. Click on
go.
This is what happens. Click on that right now. Okay, what's going on? Oh, we're live. Click on
go.
This is what happens. Click on that right now. Okay, what's going on? Oh, we're live. Click on
go.
This is what happens. Click on that right now. Okay, what's going on? Oh, we're live. Click on
go.
This is what happens. Let's see how far we can go. Let's go. This is the multiverse. Alan and I are in the multiverse. See how far we can go. Let's go. This is the multiverse. Alan and I are in the multiverse. See how far we can go. Let's go. This is the multiverse. Alan and I are in the multiverse.
When will this end?
Let's go. This is the multiverse. Alan and I are in the multiverse.
When will this end?
All right, I'm going to end that. That was weird. Okay, we have two other channels, Film Threat Trailers, Film Threat Interviews. We post a lot of trailers that other channels don't post. We have an interviews channel. Here we did right here, producer Mario Nicolo Messina. Watch that interview. He says, I'm looking for low budget indie movies. If you have a concept, send me your pitch, not the script, the pitch. I will fund your movies. Budgets anywhere from like 10 grand to 100 grand. You're looking for money for a movie? Watch that interview. I show the website, how it works. Real simple. You're a first-time filmmaker. You've made movies. You're looking for money. Here's a guy who can help.
Yeah, just have a good script.
Yes, and there's David Zucker, your David Zucker interview. So all our interviews we do live on the show are archived on this channel. So check that out. And thank you for your membership.
All right, and then we have one last one from Christopher Moonlight Productions, who has an article on Film Threat right now. Happy Friday, lads. Watched your NCSC talk on YouTube and thought it was near perfect. Wish I could have seen it in person. You're too old. Oh, and the new AI article out on Film Threat. Everybody read it after the show.
That's awesome. Thank you, Chris. Doing great work on the website. Christopher is a filmmaker himself. We met him because he won at Award This and then talked to us, frequent watcher of the show. So read his articles on filmthreat.com about AI. Hey, we talk about Superman and James Gunn a lot on this channel. And this might be the last time we talk about Superman. James Gunn is working on he's calling it the Superman Saga. Okay, let's watch this. It's a very short clip, and let's see what he has to say from the Hollywood Reporter here.
I've already finished the treatment for the next story in what I'll call the Superman Saga. The treatment's done, which means a very, very worked out treatment, and I'm working on that, and hopefully going into production on that. Not too far away from today. I've already finished the treatment.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's calling it the Superman Saga. When he says a Superman story, what does that mean? Is it a Superman movie, or is it a DC Universe movie where Superman is a guest star? Like,
I want to believe it's a Superman movie.
I don't know. I don't know what to think on this. It's I don't know what to say. But he also talked about why Superman is coming to digital so soon. Literally 35 days. Although, because it opened July 11th, it's coming out August 15th. We saw it July 9th, actually, Alan, if you recall.
Yeah.
But he addresses this in a story on Screen Rant. Alan, if you would.
Yes. Well, turns out Superman's speedy leap to digital isn't just about making a quick buck. It's all about syncing up with Peacemaker Season 2. James Gunn told Screen Rant, while he loves a good long theatrical campaign, the early release came down to scheduling. I originally thought Peacemaker was going to come out next month, so that Peacemaker is coming out now. I wanted everybody to be able to see Superman that wanted to, even those people who couldn't get to a theater before Peacemaker, he explained. The timing matters because Peacemaker Season 2 picks up at just a month after the events of the new Superman movie, complete with John Cena's cameo as Christopher Smith and several characters crossing over. By having Superman out on digital before the HBO Max drop, DC Studios is leaning into the whole interconnected universe vibe. Wow. That's
I think, I don't know. I think he's making excuses. Doesn't he have control over that when his shows? Isn't there a strategy? I mean, the one thing is Disney, critique Disney Marvel all you want. They are very strategic about release. And it feels like Gunn is not in control of all of that.
Or at least he forgot it.
He seems surprised. Am I wrong?
Yeah. I mean, it just, I can't, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
I think
he
he's
should
just
be
making excuses here.
I think he's making excuses.
I mean, it
Look,
makes sense if you want to connect these things, but I don't know that people are really interested in the connection. The only time a connection made sense and was amazing was Civil War and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
that was the best connection ever. It affected the show.
And no one saw it coming.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
I know. I mean, that show turned on a dime. And you got to see it all play out in Civil War.
Yeah, I thought that was so well done. And then all the other tie-ins have been terrible. And he didn't, even though he has been very critical in kind of a soft way towards Marvel, he hasn't, I kind of feel like he hasn't learned the lessons. Honestly, I don't want to watch Peacemaker. I like John Cena. I think he's fine in comedies. We reviewed that movie where he plays the president of the United States with Idris Elba that's on Amazon.
Heads of State.
Fine. I don't want to see another ensemble James Gunn. I find his humor is kind of, it's dark and doesn't match Superman. We played that clip of him arguing with David Cornsweet about the human speech.
Yeah.
And Gunn got his way, and I think David Cornsweet had the better instincts. I think Superman being overly emotional during that did not serve the character.
Well, I think it will serve it in the saga, in the next installment of the saga. But this idea, I love a good long theatrical campaign, and then does this. I don't know. Weirdly enough, Disney's the only studio that's honoring the 90-day window. This just for a Superman movie to come out this quickly just doesn't feel right.
No, it does feel right. Superman, then 2 years later, Superman 2 or whatever.
No, I'm sorry. Quickly coming out to digital this quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't feel like
that's a mistake. That to me says they failed to light up the box office. Their expectations were more. It didn't perform. So it will make money on VOD. It will make money.
Look, if you're a studio, this is a tentpole movie.
Yes.
You don't treat it like your low budget movies. You've got to give your tentpole movies some kind of honor to at least play out its theatrical, find its way to premium VOD, SVOD, and then put it out on Blu-ray and all that stuff. Give it a proper, treat it with the respect that it demands. Even though people don't like it, it's still a tentpole movie, and it's still a Superman movie.
The 4K Blu-ray release of Superman comes out September 23rd. That would seem to me to be a better date for the digital also.
Yeah.
Give it time to breathe, time for people to move on, and then, it's on digital now in late September. I'll get it. In terms of release and strategy, Disney and Marvel seem to be doing it better, but they're still suffering.
Well, the other end of that is make a good movie.
True. Well, hey, a lot of people have complaints about the Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four. Alan, I know you haven't seen this video.
No, I haven't.
Do you want to see what a male Silver Surfer might have been? The performance,
I feel like I have, but yes,
the
I do.
gravitas. You haven't seen this.
Okay.
You haven't seen this. Let me show you. This is a male Silver Surfer, and he warns about Galactus. Let's watch this.
Are you the protectors of this Walmart? This planet has been marked for death. Your world will be consumed by the devourer. And there is nothing you can do to stop him. For he is a universal force, as essential as the stars. Hold your loved ones close and speak the words you're so afraid to speak. Use this time to rejoice.
To be fair, he went to a Walmart. A lot of
celebrate.
people there. They're
For your time
distracted.
here is short. I herald his beginning.
Oh my God.
I herald your end. I herald Galactus. I need to have scenes of me flying now. Galactus, is it safe to go this way? The end is coming. The end is near. I herald his beginning. I herald
This guy's got some.
your ends. I herald Galactus. The Fantastic Four will not be here to save you. They are too selfish. Reed Richards and Sue Storm. All they care about is their child, Franklin. How does it feel to have your world savior be the one to essentially destroy it because all he cares about is his offspring?
better than
He never cared about you.
my
Galactus, I'm
God.
going too fast. I herald.
Someone's got to call security. Here comes
I
security.
herald
Oh no.
You gotta go.
Galactus.
Time to go, man.
The Fantastic Four will not save you. I will go and warn the other planets of Galactus. Which way is the exit?
This way.
I cannot see because Galactus has blinded me. Is the exit this way? Galactus took away my sight, so I am essentially blind. I am being kicked out of this planet that is doomed. There is nothing you can do, civilians. The end is near.
Oh my! That goes on for 8 minutes
Forever.
of him getting kicked out. I love it. There's a series of this. Check it out. And to be fair, no matter how bad you think that is, no matter how bad, probably better than female Silver Surfer. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm. And I also think the reaction from the crowd was more authentic than in the Fantastic Four movie.
Disinterest. Yeah. Hey, Avengers Doomsday is coming up. And I have a theory. Alan, I have no inside info. But this is just my theory about the next 2 big Marvel movies, Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Doomsday is going to wrap up multiverse stuff with all types of Marvel superhero characters from across franchises, right? Brings them together, and in a way, it will be Civil War, right? It'll be Avengers, Civil War, heroes versus heroes. Secret Wars, my theory is that Secret Wars will be heroes united against villains united. Doom united with Galactus, united with Thanos, united with Kang. My theory is they've never really cared about being accurate to the comics, right? Secret Wars will be a secret war of the heroes united after the events of Doomsday against villains united that will bring the return of Galactus, who was not defeated in FF. Galactus was not defeated. He was transported far, far away. Okay. Kang is still around as far as I know. They're bringing him back, I believe. Doom, all the villains, the big villains, will be united against a group of heroes. So that's my theory. Josh Brolin recently on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast talked about Thanos's return. I'm not sure if this is the clip. He also talked about Dune. And Sicario. All right, that's not the one. Let me put up the correct clip here. And we're going to hear him talk about those two topics. Here we go.
Well, have you read the script for Dune 3, Dune Messiah, whatever the hell we call this?
Yes, that's not the right. Okay.
Here's the other one.
It's the other clip.
Yeah, just go back.
No, see, I have to make sure I get these right. So they work in the show, but let's do this one first.
Major money. Thanos, the Avengers films. That's my segue. That's my drugged up segue. Was there a moment or more early on where you're like, is this really going to work? Are they going to buy the purple guy on screen? Like, I mean, I'm delivering the best I can, but this is also a lot of artisans need to make this.
No, because there's a level of absurdity that I enjoy so much that it goes back to, and I've said it a million times, but it goes back to like black box theater.
Yeah.
When you have no money and you're pretending that this thing is a gun,
right?
And you're just like, no, do it. And if you have enough conviction that actually people will start to think it's a gun.
Yeah.
And there was a level of that where they would, even because they were afraid it was going to get out, give us a phony scene and then give us the real scene when we get there, which to me is like hell.
Yeah.
Because I can't prep, I can't this, I'm thinking about the lines and all this kind of stuff. But it all worked out. And by the way, that was supposed to be, what do you call it? Like a cameo. It was supposed to be, when it was first brought to me, I was doing the Everest movie and I was in London and they brought me this huge Bible and they were like, it's just little thing and it's going to be, in it for like 10 minutes or something. And then then they changed it and turned into this whole thing. But no, I really, that was one movie. And I've said it, Deadpool 2, I was like, I'm glad it was one experience.
Right.
Right. The Thanos thing, if they called me in London right now and said, let's do this, I'd be like, I'll be there tomorrow.
He's coming back. He's coming back. He had a good experience as Thanos. I think everyone agrees Infinity War is the better movie because it focuses on Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I that's my prediction on Secret Wars, what it is. It's the return of all the villains. We got the return of, we're uniting all the heroes to fight each other, Civil War style, in Doomsday. That will set up Secret Wars, a battle of the united villains against the heroes. Here's him on Dune 3 briefly. He's not a big part of it if you know the book, but here, let's read
yeah.
So have you read the script for Dune 3, Dune Messiah, whatever the hell we call this?
I have. Very good. It is. It's very good. It's super good.
I don't know if I haven't read Dune Messiah, the book, but
I have.
Gurney isn't in that book that much as far as I've read.
And, in the movie too.
Yeah, see, not.
No, I'm in it. But
you're in it.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not there right now.
Okay.
I've gotten texts by people who are also in it who apparently haven't read the script or only read their parts, which I don't understand because that's why I reached out to Denise. I was like, why are all these people think like, hey, are you here yet?
Yeah. Have you read
like,
the
are
script?
we going to go to the bathhouse in Budapest? I'm like, dude, read the script. Like, dude,
but this feels like a worthy conclusion to this trilogy.
Oh, in a big way, in a big way. And I just talked to one of the heads of Warner Brothers, and they're very, very excited, and in a visceral way.
Okay,
it's good. Yeah, I said something like, I heard dailies are really good, and he goes, "How do you know?" I was like, because I know.
What do you think about him doing Bomb?
So there you go. I like Josh Brolin. I think he's great.
He's got his head on straight.
Yeah, he does, and I think he's coming back. He's coming back as Thanos.
I mean, look, your theory may happen, but it would be an awful movie.
Look, my theory about Secret Wars, I think, is accurate. They've set it up. They'll bring Kang back, so they wrap it up. They will bring, they're going to bring Thanos back, Galactus back, Doom. They'll set up Doom and Doomsday. It'll be the united villains against whatever the Avengers are.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, arguably Infinity War is the best of the MCU so far. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that, you got a great villain, But the other thing is you have all these heroes you've introduced in the previous films, and every single one of them got their due. They got their moment to shine, and the movie felt balanced from beginning to end. The way you're describing Doomsday, it feels like a cameo fest because
it is.
Yeah,
it is.
But the Infinity War, you can't say it was a cameo fest because everyone had a pivotal moment. They weren't just there to show up, do a thing, and
here's
then never
who's
be
in
seen again.
Doomsday. Dude, look at this.
I know.
I can't try to read that right now.
I mean, the idea that you're gonna see the X-Men in action feels like you're not gonna see the X-Men in action. You're gonna see the X-Men, and a lot of it just has to do with we had faith in the Russo brothers going into Infinity War. I think the Russo brothers are there to lend their name and to salvage together a mess. And I don't even think that they can salvage the mess.
A couple more news items before we get to our reviews. We'll go to comments after these two news items. But guess what? Chris Columbus says a Home Alone reboot would be a mistake. Alan, I know you have the story.
Oh no, there's a video.
Oh, there's a video. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me play the video. Play the video. Let's go to it. It's from Entertainment Tonight. And of course, we're going to get an ad here before the video. I will unmute when we get to the actual. This director, Chris Columbus, won't do a Home Alone reboot as OG movie turns 35. Here we go.
It's the 35th anniversary.
When we were making Home Alone, I never had we wanted people to still enjoy the movie 20 years down the road, but we had no concept that it would still be sort of this locomotive that keeps going after all these years.
I mean, I'm equally as obsessed with the film now as I was back then as a kid,
It's a very nostalgic experience for a lot of people, which is great.
So nostalgic. Any, desire to get the group back together and maybe, I don't know, do a sequel, do some sort of a reunion?
I think Home Alone really exists as it exists as not as this timepiece, but it was a very special moment, and you can't really recapture that. I think it's a mistake to try to go back and recapture something we did 35 years ago.
And so many people do, and it's like, maybe it should be just left alone.
I think it should be left alone, yeah.
But you did do a sequel to it.
That was immediate. So we had the same cast.
Exactly.
And everyone was about the same age.
Well, and it's interesting because Kate Hudson, we recently spoke to her about her new series, Running Point. She said she was in the choir scene in the sequel. Do you remember that? It was her first film.
I don't remember her in the choir. I can't even remember seeing her on film. However, I'm very good friends with her stepfather, Kurt Russell. So I will someday ask him that, yeah.
You mentioned Harry Potter, and of course you directed the first few of the films. And now, this production is getting a new series.
Yes.
In production right now. So what is advice that you would have to the young actors that are taking on this series?
Literally when the young actors who took on the first Harry Potter roles were immediately, their lives are changed immediately. And I would imagine that's probably going to happen to these young actors as well. And hopefully they sort of went with the same theory that we did, which is cast the parents as well as the children. If the parents are great, the kids will turn out okay. So that was sort of the philosophy.
Now, Chris.
You're muted.
Oh, that's good. That's
good advice.
Is good advice. Don't reboot it. It's like there's so many other things that I hope they don't reboot. But
but haven't they learned the lesson that just because you slap the name of the original movie onto this one, that people still aren't going to show that adds no extra juice to it?
Well, there's two things. One, it's branding. You have known IP, and two, it helps resell the back catalog. So, for example, they'll put out, if they did, it's not happening, but if they did a Home Alone reboot, then you'd see the Home Alone movies now coming to digital. There are 3 movies, right?
I know of 2. There might be a third.
I think there is a third. Get all three movies for $19.99 on VOD. It's like it helps sell back catalog. They've admitted it in the trades. You read people like, well, these reboots, they actually help sell these older movies that we're just sitting on. It's like making money on a piece of property you've owned that's in Nowheresville, Florida. Suddenly it's worth something.
Yeah, but I think it just tarnishes the memories of the originals when you do something like this. And I think we're seeing it over and over again. Star Wars has been ruined for us. It's I get it. It's all about money. But where are the people who are making the original stuff? Well, certainly the studios are not involved in that.
It's so funny. Justine Bateman, of course, who we all love on this channel, friend of the channel. Follow her. She's great. Every time they announce some reboot of a franchise, she quote tweets it and says, #make new stuff. That's it. She's against it.
Yep.
Okay. Ron Howard, filmmaker, Apollo 13 is actually coming out.
Jim Lovell just passed away. R.I.P.
Yes. And Jim Lovell passed away. The film, of course, he is fictionalized, played by Tom Hanks in Apollo 13, which is being re-released to theaters. So Ron Howard's kind of in the news. Of course, he came in to finish directing on the movie Solo, a Star Wars story. What an uninspired name. It's as bad as Mandalorian and Grogu. So, I don't know. Okay, these are proper names for movies. The Empire Strikes Back, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, proper names. But Ron Howard got advice from George Lucas, and it's very simple. And it ties into something that I've been criticized for saying. Alan, tell me what that is.
Let's also point out the fact that Ron Howard was in American Graffiti.
He was in American. He has a good relationship with George.
Yes. All right, here we go. When he was first approached to take over Solo, it all started with a chance meeting with Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy. She invited him to breakfast where producer Ali Shearer and screenwriter John Kasdan joined in. That's when they told him Solo had reached a creative impasse with Phil Lord and Christopher Miller and asked if he'd consider stepping in. He didn't just jump right in. He first sought out some wisdom from George Lucas himself. Lucas wasn't active on the film at the time, but he gave one piece of advice that stuck. Just don't forget, it's for 12-year-old boys. After watching some edited footage, Howard realized there were two very different versions at play. The studio liked the script, but felt the tone under Lord and Miller wasn't quite working for Star Wars. Confident he could deliver a version they wanted, he agreed to reshoot large portions, keeping Lucas's reminder in mind to make it adventurous, fun, and something you would capture the imagination of young audiences. Even though Solo ultimately underperformed, he said he had a blast working on it and held no grudges, calling Lord and Miller incredibly gracious throughout the transition. Yeah, it was a blast.
But the big advice he gives.
Yes. Just don't forget, it's for 12-year-old boys.
Exactly. What have I been saying? It's like trying to alter the Barbie cinematic franchise to make it for boys. I mean, it's for, let's face it, girls, women, and gay men. That's what Barbie's for. And Star Wars. And you know what? Other people can like it too. We're not preventing you from liking it. The primary demographic, Star Wars, is for young boys. Focus on them and men who have the memory of seeing it when they were kids, like you and I, Alan. And this is the last time we'll ever talk about Star Wars.
How is it that George Lucas hadn't lost half his friends after saying that?
Yes, or been canceled.
Yeah.
Let's go to comments.
Go figure.
Before we get to reviews for today.
All right. From St. Solomon. Yeah, not a fan of Superman coming out so early. Should at least come out in September or early October. Yes.
I agree. Mistake.
44 Magnum Norse. Superman is super unprofitable, aka they lost money.
Yeah.
They'll get it back. RM World for 999. Gunn's BHS. What is that one? Do you know what BHS is? You do? You don't?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, anyways, it made me less optimistic. He treats Superman as someone who just came into his power a few years ago and didn't spend a lifetime having to be in control of himself to protect those around him.
Yeah, I just think the performance choices by Gunn, not Corn Sweat, were not right.
Maybe it's being. I still contend that the Superman saga, there's an overarching arc for Superman, and we're seeing the first part of that arc.
It's behind the scenes, but I've never heard.
No, BHS. The BTS is behind the scenes.
BTS is behind the scenes, also the name of a K-pop band that Alan is the biggest fan of. But BHS, I think you meant. Did you mean BTS? Okay.
BTS, maybe. Yeah. You don't use the same finger on the keyboard to get to both letters. Jean Hu for 742 saw the trailer for Doctor on Film Threat yesterday.
Film Threat trailers.
Film Threat trailers. It's nice to look forward to an upcoming comedy again.
Yeah, thank you, Sean Hu.
Yeah. Aaron Sharman, number 1, Home Alone, the classic Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, also stars Macaulay Culkin. Home Alone 3, New Kid, Alex D. Lenz.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So there, I remember the third one, but I remember never seeing it. I saw the first and second, never saw the third.
Yeah. If you watch the John Williams doc, John Williams sought out Chris Columbus to do the music because he wanted to do a Christmas movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. The Nerd Far Away. Most reboots would be a mistake. I'd rather see original. I really think the constant reboots show lack of creativity or lack of trust, especially in young filmmakers. ADLS 24, and we thought bringing back RDJ was desperate. They need to bring Thanos back for anything more than a flash of cameos. They are beyond creatively bankrupt. They're mentally insolvent. Brock Samsonite, Secret Wars is going to be Avengers versus X-Men. They're going to use the movie as a way for the X-Men to finally officially enter the MCU timeline, not an alternative timeline. I think you're right there. Jason,
again, what I said was a theory.
Right, but I think the reboot to bring in the X-Men, I think, is right. Jason Fatak, still better than Female Surfer.
I just think it was the venue. Maybe Walmart was not the best place.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan, it's time for reviews. And, we talk about Sydney Sweeney because she's part of the culture. She's also an actress that's in a new movie called Americana.
Yes.
That it was not playing at my local AMC Burbank 16. It's in limited release. This is the movie that made her break her silence. That American Eagle jeans campaign came out, and she really hasn't said anything except to promote this movie. Alan, you saw it. Tell me about it.
All right, so Americana stars Sydney Sweeney. Let's get the overall thing here. The MacGuffin is the ghost shirt from the Lakota tribe. People are after it after a collector has it, and it's worth it's worth millions of dollars. And so there are people after it. There's the Lakota, kind of the BLM Lakota tribe that wants it for historical reasons. There is a mother named Mandy and her son Cal. Mandy is played by Halsey. Cal is her son, who believes he is the reincarnation of Sitting Bull. And then you have Penny Joe and Lefty, played by Sydney Sweeney and Paul Walter Hauser. And they're all after this shirt because, the shirt is basically in the back of Halsey's car. She got a hold of it. Now she's going to run across the country to her father's religious camp to find safety. And it's like a Western. It all ends in a big gun battle. Yeah, this one is not good. And it's, is it woke? Yeah, it's woke as hell. The whole idea here is,
but the trailer looked fun. It looked like a dumb Tarantino-inspired heist movie centered around a shirt.
Yes, the dumb part is correct. But what it ultimately becomes is, it becomes all about identity politics, because you have groups of people of certain types battling each other. And of course, those groups are on this kind of caste system as to, who is the best group, who is the worst group. So you have the white males, the white religious males. Guess where they land on the cast?
Tell me. I
way at the bottom.
Can't really predict.
Yeah, white man bad in this one. Then you have the religious women. They're of course up more. They're the victims of that. You have the Indian, the Native American, the Lakota tribe. They're kind of in the middle. They're kind of the BLM version for Native Americans. They're there just to get their history back. And then you have two single mothers who you have one single mother who's trying to survive. It's just one of these movies where, when you put everyone on the cast list from higher to lower, the order in which they all die. Not to say that they die, but it's a Western. And so there's that big gun battle at the end. Sydney Sweeney, I think the best thing you can say about Sydney Sweeney is she has certain assets that makes her a better actress. And unfortunately, she didn't employ those assets in this movie.
Oh, so you're saying, I'm sure the chat is already asking, does she disrobe?
No, she doesn't. In fact, she looks like this in the poster throughout the entire film. Yeah, I know.
She plays a waitress, right?
She plays a waitress with the stammer. And look, it is so full of politics. Look, when people watch it, they're going to say it's great and there's no politics in it. But when we watch it and our audience watches it, you'll know. You'll see it right off the bat. And it just becomes an uninspired piece, a dull piece, because there's no creativity. Because exactly the fates of everybody in this film.
Now, no wonder that why it's like getting a small release. I mean, it wasn't playing at my theater that gets all the small.
I know. Why is it playing in Fullerton? That's
yes, I know. Why is it in Fullerton? Well, they have the screens, I guess.
Yeah.
So you don't recommend it?
I don't recommend it. There were like 5 people in my audience, and there were 2 that laughed a lot, but I think most people kind of walked away disappointed.
I can't believe I have lived to see the day where Alan Ng is not recommending a movie starring Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I mean, there's a romance. There's a romance between her character Penny and Lefty, played by Paul Walter Hauser. There certainly could have been a moment, but there wasn't.
Oh,
yeah,
that sucks. Well, you can't say we like Sydney Sweeney. We don't like. Hey, a good actress can be in a bad movie, but she chose to be in this. I don't know.
Well, I think she chose because she wants to stretch her dramatic legs. And
she wants to spread her dramatic wings.
Dramatic legs, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Like an eagle.
Precisely. Let's go to comments here.
All right. From Grizzly Nightmare for 199. Do you guys like the NK movie Pulgasari?
Yes, it's North Korea. It's a North Korean film called Pulgasari.
Okay.
It might be on YouTube. It is, the story behind that movie is way better than the movie. Kim Jong-un's father, who was dictator at the time in North Korea, kidnapped a director from South Korea who he admired, and he famously loved movies, to force him to make a North Korean movie and create their Godzilla. And they did. I'm not saying it's good. It's historically significant. So
Did he make it
look up-
home safely?
I forget. There is a documentary. I recommend watching Pulgasari and the documentary about the making.
How old
of
is this
Pulgasari,
movie?
which I think it might be on Netflix.
Yeah. How
The
old is
doc,
this
not-
movie?
Oh, it's old. It's
Okay.
you know.
Oh, it's his father who did it. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I have seen it. I like it because of the interesting aspect behind the scenes.
All right. Matthew Hammond for 2. Should this have been called Progressive Stack?
Yeah, that's what should have been the name. Thank you for the super chat.
Rumble Hotep. Will girls dress up in American Eagle jeans for Halloween? Hallow Sweeney.
They should.
Okay. Darth Yeager. Sounds like a Coen Brothers kind of film.
If you want to see the movie, watch the trailer. It's pretty much the movie.
Yeah. Davina Duckworth, because Alan wants to release the Sweeneys. I don't understand that.
I understand what she's saying. Hey, how about a movie you and I have both seen, Alan?
Okay.
Nobody 2. Now, I think you asked me, do I need to see Nobody before I see Nobody 2 to understand the story? Not really.
No, you don't.
I liked Nobody. And when I saw that film, I don't know if you remember, theaters were, just kind of coming back.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of the first movies to kind of be. I went to a special screening event of Nobody where we saw it at a drive-in on the Universal lot. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
They had this parking lot they turned into a drive-in theater. We were told to mask up. They had all these rules that you had to follow. You had to wear a mask. It was so insane, but we saw.
You had to wear a mask in your car.
I don't remember about that part. All I remember is I felt stupid, but it was I went to the drive-in weekly, but it came out during an unfortunate time. It was a really solid movie starring Bob Odenkirk as a guy that as a guy who's, how do I describe? He's like an enforcer. Okay. He his character Hutch is an enforcer who he seems like he's just this normal dad in suburbia, but he is a badass on the level of John Wick. It's if John Wick moved to the suburbs. That's the first movie, straight up action. There's a great scene on a bus, like close combat scene. Bob Odenkirk rehearsed forever to work with the stuntman to do it. I'm sure he used a double in some things, but man, I've seen BTS behind the scenes of the first Nobody. It's a solid action movie, really good thriller. The second movie, simple premise. His wife, Becca, is played by Connie Nielsen.
Mm-hmm.
She's just feeling a little fed up that his work may be impeding on the family. So Hutch decides, hey, I'm going to take you on vacation. We're going to go to this water park that I went to as a kid with my brother. His brother's a guy, character's named Harry, played by Riza.
Yes.
No explanation why his brother happens to be.
Was he in the first movie?
I don't remember. I don't
Okay.
think he was. This
All
was and Christopher Lloyd plays Hutch's dad. They take him along. The family got the 2 kids, wife, grandpa. They're going on vacation and they go to this water park. Guess what? Trouble follows them. And he gets in some scuffles with some locals and pisses off a kingpin of an organization that's making money in all kinds of illegal ways, led by Lendina, played by Sharon Stone, who's a weird, freaky badass who kind of enjoys killing people and taking out her enemies. and everything just escalates and escalates. It's kind of, and actually I thought the beginning first half hour was kind of slow. Once there's this, there's an action scene on a boat, kind of a repeat or a rhyme with the bus close combat action scene. The scene on the boat is really good. In some ways, kind of tops that bus scene. And that's when that's when the movie kicks into gear about 30 minutes in. It's a ride to the end, culminating in some really great action scenes, and characters pay off in the town. Colin Hanks plays this corrupt cop in the town he
looks older than his dad.
Yeah, he looks they did stuff to Colin Hanks. Yeah, he has a weird haircut. He has a weird haircut. Anyways, it's 90 minutes. I mean, the movie is short,
pretty tight.
But I was really kind of disappointed for that first 30 minutes. The slow build was like, oh, when is this going to get going? Once it gets going, it doesn't stop. So it's I recommend it. I thought it was super fun. I had a great time with it. And, it does have kind of a sense of humor. I mean, this is Bob Odenkirk as Hutch he's just relentless.
Yeah.
I mean, although watching it, I'm not sure if I 100% buy a guy his age being able to take out some of these people.
I think that's the conceit of the movie is that
right.
Bob Odenkirk is not your typical action star. And
right.
I think it really plays off that very well. Both.
What did you think? I have a few more comments, but what did you think?
First of all, Sharon Stone, her character, she is the crime boss of the city. She is, I don't know. I think if it were any other actress, you'd say this is a weird character. And then you realize, oh, it's Sharon Stone. She's acting like Sharon Stone. I have not seen the first movie. And I think the filmmakers did a great job of, in that first opening moment, just kind of give you an idea of who this character is. And so locked in, I understand it. The only thing you really have to buy in this movie is that Bob Odenkirk is this kick-ass kind of dude. And I think for the sake of realizing you're going to sit there for 90 minutes, it clicks in. The first 30 minutes is really about the family aspect of it. As crazy as this movie gets, it is really about family, about a father who's just not been there, to see his kids kind of, because he's not there, his kids, the son kind of takes on his tendencies for violence. And then you have a daughter who he barely sees, and then a wife who is just kind of disappointed over and over again when he has to do these assignments. And then you realize the stuck place he's in, where he has a massive debt he has to pay off. And that's why he's involved in these things. And then, anyone who's worked a job, the idea of, I just need a break. And that's so that first half hour really is to set up the emotional impact, the characters, all the characters, and then the emotional payoff at the end. A lot of good fighting scenes. The ending at the amusement park, pretty cool. I mean, those are the movies I liked when I was a kid, where you take this unlikely place and turn it to a killing machine, and that's what they do there. I will say the thing that is starting to bother me, and I feel like it's becoming a trend, is the hyper violence, and then the just the awful things they do to the human body, the human face in these movies. And I'm starting to get concerned because I'm really tired of going to a movie and only seeing half the movie because of all the gore and violence in it. And this one is certainly that. There are numerous times where I'm just like, I can't.
Well, there's a shocking moment on the boat.
Yeah,
might be two of them, but
and then Americana. I just went,
that's when the movie started for me.
Yeah,
that boat scene.
I mean, people don't come off in one piece. In many people don't come out in one piece in this movie. Americana was the same way. It's like, this violence is getting to me. Weapons. Oh my gosh, it's just.
I will say I am getting a little bored with the constant It's improvisational violence.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll grab this coffee cup and then I'll get a pencil and then it's like it's like they're looking for clever new ways to kill. I don't know, in the moment, do people react like that? I don't know if I believe it.
Yeah. So, you know, but that all being said, I had a really good time with this movie. It's a classic action movie that I would have watched in the 90s and 90s with less gore in it.
Well, the gore is, I mean, there are consequences for things happening.
Yeah, and we get to see every bit of those consequences.
Yes, we do.
In graphic detail.
So if you are squeamish about violence, blood, whatever, you may have issues with this.
Yeah, I see in the comments. My issue about this is a little bit broader, and I don't know if we want to get into it, but it's the idea of punch a Nazi. You know, it feels like we're in this era where it's okay to punch people you hate, and I feel like sometimes movies like this just kind of desensitizes us to be able to want to do these things, and I don't know. That's a broader issue we could discuss later.
Well, I think in spite of all of that, I had a great time, and I recommend Nobody 2.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go to comments.
Valiant Renegade for
Hey,
10.
Valiant.
Yes, the man's show we keep avoiding. Great follow-up to the first, really built on the family dynamic. Even Becca shows her understanding of Hutch with that text message moment. The film did its job of being pure popcorn fun.
And did not overstay its welcome. A tight 90.
Yeah.
Thank you, Valiant. Appreciate you. Watch this channel.
Yes, Mr. D-Man 21. Hollywood has a problem with sex and comedy, but not violence.
That's
right.
true. That's true.
A serious man for 17 months. Fantastic Four was as good or better than anything in Phase 1. Okay.
If it came out during Phase 1, I think we'd be blown away. I think Fantastic Four has too much baggage. It has Pedro, that's baggage, and female Silver Surfers. So, but I get what you're saying. Look, everything about it. Thanks, A Serious Man. Appreciate you.
Okay. ADL's 24. Did everyone else see the news? The Sisu 2 is coming out in November.
Yeah. We will be seeing Sisu 2.
Razorburn 35. So John Wick meets National Lampoon's Vacation.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That was probably the pitch.
Twisted Reality. The change in director screws it up. The action wasn't nearly as good.
I would agree that first director, it was more grounded. This is a little over the top. So
do you think the
less
family,
believable?
Sorry, do you think the message of family was too overwhelming in this one compared to the first one? Maybe influence.
Yeah, I mean that's the dominant part of this.
Yeah.
But
so it's becoming the Fast and Furious franchise.
Right.
Triple Threat. I strongly disagree, Alan, that's the bad argument Congress tried to make against Mortal Kombat. I'm not saying Congress should do something about it. I'm just saying there's the trend, and I'm seeing the trend, and I'm also seeing the news where it just feels like throwing Subway sandwiches, punching people, getting into people's faces. It just seems like this trend in movies is desensitizing to us to say that, you know, that kind of behavior is wrong. That's my early thoughts on this whole thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Alan, how about I review a movie that we both saw?
Yeah.
That I think, I don't know what you think of it, because we
Okay.
kind of don't talk about that before the show. But Red Sonja is here, and you and I have both seen it. And before we start the review, I'll just let people know they got the costume right. They got it right. She is very much in a metal bikini for parts of the film. And I'm going to talk about the plus side first before I get to the minuses. Simple story. We see her as a child separated from loved ones. That has consequences. We see her go through a journey becoming the warrior that will be Red Sonja with a reputation. And she struggles, loses, has successes. The tone of this thing completely, I wanted it to be Conan the Barbarian. Deadly serious, sexy, and violent. The tone is Xena Warrior Princess without the comedy. A humorless Xena Warrior. The cinematography felt like a TV episode. There were some really ambitious effects in it. And the lead actress I thought was very good. I mean, they made Red Sonja with red hair and they gave her a metal bikini, which she wears. She looks accurate, you know? But I'm very mixed on this. Alan, what did you think about Red Sonja? And give me a little bit more of the story.
Yeah, so Red Sonja is you mentioned it. She's a young girl. Invaders attack. She is exiled, and during that exile, she is the character of Red Sonja is birthed, and you see that progression throughout it. She's captured, put into kind of a gladiator situation where she has to fight for the pleasure of the emperor at the time, or the guy in charge. And there's an interesting story element there where the bad guy, he is, you know, you have a land full of people who believe in mythology and gods, and he believes in science. To me, that was an interesting story. All to say that there's potential in this movie, and they could not fulfill on that potential. Yes,
which I think was budget related.
Yeah,
he has
sure,
these. This emperor has these machines he creates. They're sort of crude technology, very crude.
Right. Yeah. Now let me speak to the costume. Yes, the costume is accurate. I did read Red Sonja, and I'll just say, unfortunately, the actress doesn't fill out the costume like they did in the comic books.
Yes,
and I think,
yeah.
Good. Yeah. Look, when I was watching this movie, I thought to myself, what if we just removed Red Sonja? What do we have? And I'd say we have a standard low budget indie action movie from the 90s.
That's what this is.
And that's what this is. And that's what you're going to get. And you have the Red Sonja label slammed onto it. I'm not, you know, you want to say this is Red Sonja because of this. And I think when you say, oh yeah, she's Red Sonja because she overcomes and becomes this great warrior, I don't know. I've seen that story played out too many times. I just don't understand why it needed to be specifically Red Sonja. I'll be honest. I don't necessarily understand the lore of Red Sonja to the point where I would say Red Sonja is this type of person. You know, this is her thing, and that's why she was a great comic book. And that right there needed to be answered in this movie, and it's not answered in the movie.
Yeah,
it's just a typical action film.
What is her character? To me, the GOAT is still the original Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know maybe his acting, he's you know,
at least they didn't dub it.
Yeah, at least they didn't dub him, you know, but not the greatest actor early in his career, but he filled the muscles. And there are great moments in that. There's nudity, there is barbaric violence, you know, there's some great fantasy, there's religion, battles over religion. It's a great hero's journey, you know. So I feel like in the music, Conan the Barbarian, Basil Polydoros, who does the music for Conan, phenomenal. And this is Conan light, or it's like I say, I kept thinking of Xena Warrior Princess, which was a show I liked mainly because of the sense of humor, and this lacked that.
Well, the other thing is you could believe Lucy Lawless was Xena.
Yes.
Yeah, Matilda Lutz here. She, you know, at least they didn't modernize this. They didn't update it for modern audiences.
Yeah, it's not woke.
But look at her.
I
mean, I don't sense the authenticity that this person could be Red Sonja.
Well, I think a lot of it is the way it was shot. It looked very flat, the cinematography.
Yeah.
So that just felt TV. It was made for TV.
Yeah, someone who hasn't done a proper action movie.
Yeah, this was the best we could do with the money that we have, and that frankly is not enough. Although I give props, I actually like the lead actress. I thought she did fine. I feel like if she was surrounded by better stuff, like budget wise,
maybe she bulked up a little bit.
yes. But it has its moments. There's a Cyclops in the movie, a gladiator arena scene that I thought was great on a cliffside. So there are enough moments that I recommend it as pure 90s exploitation. That's what this is. But it doesn't quite do enough in terms of the action and the epic scale. I will give it credit also for the score, and as an orchestral score. They didn't have some rap music during certain scenes, or I really can't stand that now. Even music over the credits now is just, hey, some dumb pop song that you have to do it because the executive producer who's putting up the money, his son has a band. And that's how a song gets in the end credits. Anyways, so I give it a bare recommend, if only because, but lower your expectations and you'll have fun. But it's like watching, if you told me this is from the 90s, I watched this on VHS, it seems like it's plucked right from that era. Do you recommend it, Alan?
I don't recommend it. And the main reason is I would never watch this movie again.
Yeah, I probably won't either. But I'm on the borderline where I'm like, well, I can't say I wasn't entertained, that she wasn't good. There were some scenes that I had fun with, like the Cyclops, the gladiator ring, and there are some interesting machines and creatures. So it's like, oh, if I had seen this when I was a kid in the 90s, or I wasn't a kid in the 90s, or like a kid in the 70s. But if I saw this as a kid, I'd probably really like it.
Yeah, but to me, there has to be replay value, especially in an action movie. And there's certainly a lot of better movies I could see above this one. And if this showed up on a list of, hey, what are we gonna watch tonight? I'd skip over this one.
Look, we won't tell you what to think. I give it a bare recommend. You don't recommend it. You choose for yourself. Let's go to comments.
All right, DeCruz. I watched the old Red Sonja yesterday. It's not great, but damn, Brigitte Nielsen was smoking back then.
There you
Brigitte.
go.
The Skeleton King. I love the Sword and the Sorcerer General,
Oh,
Deathstalker, and Conan. I haven't seen Red Sonja, but I was hoping this would be the return to the old style. Sorry.
It definitely feels like a movie made in a different era. Sword and the Sorcerer with Lee Horsley is amazing. I love that as a kid. It was violent. It was sexy. There were boobs. It was great.
I know. Make that movie. I bet they didn't spend a lot of money on Sword and the Sorcerer. Aaron Howell, C grade cheesy story, B grade visuals. Got it. Yep.
That is accurate.
By the way, if you ever learn bow and arrow, learn to shoot people in the eye.
Yeah.
That's the thing I learned in this movie. LK 8181. After listening to the lunatic of a director, I have zero interest in seeing Red Sonja. Plus, it's based on Gail Simone's version of Red Sonja. Woman empowerment. LOL. Hard pass.
It didn't overly push. I mean, she's the lead. She is the protagonist. So make of that what you will.
Yeah. And I found out she blocked me on X, and I don't even know her.
Gail Simone.
Yeah. She blocked Robert R&B, and I decided to look, and she blocked me too. Tradviz, but did she go through her hero's journey?
I don't know. There you go.
All right. And let's see.
Well, Gail Simone hasn't blocked me.
You're lucky. I mean, you said more controversial things than I did.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
but
sure it
there
was
is-
my Marvels
what's
review
funny
that she
is-
did it.
What's funny is there is actually a review on filmthreat.com
Yes.
by Michael Talbot Haynes, who liked the movie.
Yes.
He liked it. So go to filmthreat.com if you want a third opinion.
I know.
Look up Red Sonja.
Michael likes batshit crazy movies.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
All right. Royston Bailey for 2. Bring back movies with boobies.
I support that $2 and gave a $2. I saw what you meant by that. Hey, Alan, let me tell you about a movie you will never see. It's called Strange Harvest. Strange Harvest is a horror movie. It's a horror movie. It's the way it's told that makes it interesting. It's told in the form of a documentary. This could be, it's almost like a documentary you would see on Netflix of all places. It's about a serial killer that wears a gruesome mask, and it's horrific. And it's I mean, God, there's certain points when I was watching it where I thought, this is just, if you didn't tell people this was fiction, you would completely think it's real. This symbol is seen in places. You see the bloody symbol on the poster. There's meaning to that. There's a series of gruesome murders. We follow the cops in pursuit of this killer. It takes place here in SoCal. So some familiar locations, including Riverside. I think Riverside was one of the locations. And I quite enjoyed this because it felt real. I'm just thinking, why did you could just tell people this was real. I knew it was fiction going in when I saw it, but damn, if this is not so accurate to crime documentaries, and I've watched many on Netflix, they follow like a formula. And this kind of copied, not in a bad way, copied that formula to tell a fictional story and does it really effectively. I mean, I assume that there were actors playing the cops, but they felt just, they're not, when you see cops in like CBS TV shows, they're way too good looking to be cops, way too good looking. And the people here I'm not saying they were not attractive people. They just felt more real. So it's also, I'm a warning for you. You will never see this movie, Alan. It's gruesome, and it's gruesome maybe in a way that's even more shocking than a traditional horror because it's played very straight. It's not, no laughs, maybe uncomfortable laugh here and there, but there's no laughs, and it's deadly serious. Strong recommend for Strange Harvest. It's creepy as hell. And there you go.
Yep, not seeing it.
I thought you would. Let's go to comments here. Some quick comment.
All right. Let's see. Texifier. I love Strange Harvest, my favorite horror film this year. Killer with a deep lore done in a Blair Witch, the Poughkeepsie tape style. Amazing film, my favorite of 2025 so far.
I can't say it's my favorite, but among the top horror films made this year. I would say that in the list, if I were to compile a list. Thank you, Texifier. I like that name, Texifier. Nice name. All right, Alan, I didn't see this movie. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so this is from Studio Ghibli or Ghibli.
Sorry, let me start this over.
Yeah, okay.
Alan, tell me about Grave of the Fireflies.
Yes, well, this is from Studio Ghibli or Ghibli, however you want to pronounce it. Interesting thing, my daughter and I, we've kind of been on this Studio Ghibli kick where we kind of want to go through all the movies. And Fathom Events is putting out Grave of the Fireflies. I believe it came out in the 90s. But before I go into it, let me read to you. So telling my daughter, "Hey, this movie is coming out. It's at the theaters. Grave of the Fireflies. Do you want to see it?" And she says yes. And then she goes, "What's it about?" And let me read you what I read her.
Oh no!
When an American air raid kills their mother in the final days of World War II, 14-year-old Seta and his 4-year-old sister Setsuko are left to fend for themselves in a devastated Japanese countryside. With food running short, the siblings can only cling to fleeting moments of happiness in this harsh reality, of which my daughter responded, "Oh, hell no." And and let's just say, after watching the Grave of the Fireflies, she was absolutely right. This movie is heart-wrenching. If you want to see two children go through the ringer of a war-torn Japan, hey, this is the movie to see. Look, it's oh man, it kicks you in the nuts, and it kicks you in the nuts real hard. But one of the things I do want to talk about, though, is the animation in this movie is incredible, and that's always been true for Studio Ghibli. Hand-drawn animation. Why are we giving up on hand-drawn animation? The emotions in this movie, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the characters are drawn very human accurate, and so somehow the emotion of the characters really comes through. And I would venture to say that I don't get that with computer animation. I just don't think computer animation, because they're not, I don't know, it's weird, but hand-drawn animation seems to be much more emotional than 3D animation.
Yep.
And this one is just full of emotions because, I mean, look, the film does a great job setting up two incredibly sympathetic characters. And then what they go through. There's a point where this is happening after an air raid. Their city has been destroyed. They're staying with their aunt, and the aunt just doesn't want more kids in the house and really thinks that they're leeching off her. And there's a moment where Setsuko, as a 14-year-old, decides that they're not wanted and that they're going to go out and fend for themselves. And it's at that point you realize, oh, this is not going to turn out good. And but oh man, that emotion just hits you. Because now throughout the rest of the movie, you just know things are not going to get better, especially after they set it up at the beginning of the movie. So, man, look, kudos to Studio Ghibli for just putting together a very emotional film and a devastating film at that. So, look, if that's your thing, I recommend it. But if you want a happy movie to take your kids to, forget it. Just avoid this at all costs.
So okay, all right. So it's a recommend with a warning.
Yeah. I mean, the art in this. It's very simple. I mean, look at this. It's kind of the two characters with fireflies in the background. There's not a lot to it. But having said that, Studio Ghibli makes the most of its animation compared to like Elio, which we talked about.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to comments. Right here, we have some quick comments, and we have well, I'll tell you what's going on in a second.
Okay, from Tyler. I knew to expect sadness going into Grave of the Fireflies, but I still wasn't prepared just for how much sadness there was. Yeah, that third act is heart-wrenching.
Yeah, well, it's also the medium.
Mm-hmm.
Animation can do this. Animation can be emotional. Animation can rip you apart. It's not cartoons for kids. Mm-hmm. And I like that the form can go there.
Yeah. So. And I like that Studio Ghibli, even though they use computers now, I believe they're still hand drawing the main action. And it's, bring it back, please. Skeleton King, this movie messed me up when I first saw it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Senjuro-san, Oh, Grave of the Fireflies, the feel-good movie of the year. Yeah. Twisted Reality, this film beats you off and doesn't stop.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go, Alan. Yeah. So, okay. Hey, We have one more film to review today, Shin Godzilla, and I have a lot of thoughts about Shin Godzilla. I have a lot of thoughts, Alan, and I know you do as well. I have a lot, so I want to save it for the end of the show. But today, I am really happy to tell you that we are talking to the filmmaker behind the documentary about Tura Satana. Cody Jarrett is here with us. Let's welcome her to the show.
Good morning.
Hey, how's it going? What's going on? Wait, let me put you front and center here.
All right.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Is my audio and stuff, everything okay?
Audio sounds great. Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, I'm a huge fan of Tura Satana. Huge. I saw Faster Pussycat Kill, probably far too young. Loved that movie. But how did you come to the topic? Was it Tura's, tell me about Tura Satana.
So, well, like yourself, I saw Pussycat when I was like everybody, like a lot of people really saw that film at an inappropriately young age, and it affected them permanently,
Yeah.
So I came to Tura because of my previous film was Sugar Box, which was like a homage to 1970s women in prison films, like the Jack Hill movies. Jack Hill actually makes a cameo in Sugar Box. So I'd written the part of the warden for Erica Gavin, of course, makes sense. Erica was not available, but Suzanne Perry, the other producer on the documentary, at that time managed all of the Tura Satana women, like 6 or 7 of them. So Suzanne was like, listen, Erica's not available for Sugar Box, but maybe you'd be interested in some of my other clients. Like I have Tura Satana, I have Kitten a TV Dad, right? Like she said those names and I fell out of my chair. So it's like, yes, absolutely. So that's how I got to know Tura.
Well, it's interesting. I saw that movie at a really young age, Faster Pussycat, and there's no nudity in the movie. There's no, the way things are handled is very much B movie, nearly safe for TV if you cut some things out. But it's the violence. It's I'd never seen a film like that. And I should fully disclose, I wrote an article once for the New York Times about Russ Meyer's girls, met Kitten Natividad. I never met Tura, but I interviewed her over the phone. And there's something about what Russ Meyer did with women in movies that made them, put them front and center and violent. That just kind of happened with you. Just rocked my world, blew my mind.
Yeah, a lot of people call Russ Meyer the accidental feminist. It's because everybody's focusing on the wrong side of the picture. He's like, oh, he's doing all these movies with big boobs. Well, yeah, but they're also kicking everybody's ass. So get the perspective right,
Right. Well, I get the sense maybe some of the men in the movie didn't mind getting their asses kicked. Hey, do you mind? Let's show the trailer for the movie.
Sure.
Because I have it queued up here, and I want to share for those that don't know who Tura Satana is, and the official title is Tura! Exclamation point, which I appreciate. So let's watch this from Quiver Distribution. Here we go.
Faster Pussycat, I could never get tired of watching it.
Tura was a leader, and she was sexy, and she was in control.
She was out there kicking some butt and looking great. She's the strongest character in this film.
She was a radical warrior feminist.
Good. Let's get started.
Tura was scary, and people went, whoa, who is this? She was a good actress, and she was good at being a cult movie star.
Oh, what a woman. She wore the black gloves. I loved it.
She was a fantastic feminist role model. She was the one in control.
The fact that she's an Asian American woman that was able to get into pictures and even do what she did is inconceivably significant.
It's such an incredible story. She's a real thing.
That's so. I never really honestly thought of her as a feminist icon. I just thought she was an action star. And then even maybe talk about her. Tell me, like, what were her challenges? Did being, because I when I saw the movie Faster Pussycat, that seared in my memory, I never thought of her as Asian. She's just a badass lead.
Right. So in terms of her challenges in life,
like challenges from like, did that what did she have to overcome the film? I know Margaret.
I mean, you talk about a pretty horrific event in her life early on.
Yeah.
Right. Have you guys seen the film? Alan, have you seen the film?
No, but I know I'm reading the review we put out on it. Gave it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, right. By the way, thank you for that. I woke up to that and it was like, wow, so grateful for that. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Okay. So some of the challenges, like Tura obviously was a young girl in post-World War II America, where kind of like, this is just after the Japanese internment and everything. And there was just so much anti-Asian sentiment in the air. And Tura, as a 9-year-old little girl, kind of paid the ultimate price for that. It's like, I don't want to give away too many spoilers from the film, but like she was brutally assaulted because of her race at 9 years old. And that was just the beginning. Tura had a very hard life, but instead of what's great about Tura and her story is the fact that she was able to, instead of shrinking away and becoming, devastated by these events, she completely flipped the script. She used the hard things that happened to her and galvanized her into the person that eventually became Varla. So after that event, she learned karate. She learned it was judo and aikido. And by 15, she got a fake ID and was dancing in Calumet City, Illinois. Now, at the time, there was no Las Vegas. Calumet City, there's like these old Life magazine stories that talk about how Calumet City was the white slavery capital of the United States. Like Cal City was hardcore. And you've got Tura as a 15-year-old dancing there. Like she knew mobsters. I mean, amazing. But then again, even then, racism was still a factor. Like, not dissimilar to the Green Book. When she was on the road as a teenager, she experienced a lot of racism that she always had to put up with. But, she had learned at an early age, kind of like she needed to be tough. So that gave her the tools of empowerment that kind of like shot her on her unique journey.
That seems like the theme of the film, the idea of control. Because when a horrific event like that happens when you're a child, what flips a switch is now you're in control. The only one who's going to save you is you. The only one who's going to, I guess, seek justice is you as well.
Right. That's exactly it. That is exactly Tura. Perfect.
She had a gravitas as an actress. She really did. I mean, putting the sexuality aside, she really had a gravitas and was powerful. Anyways, I'm just saying I'm a fan.
Right. Yeah. That gravitas comes from that life. Like there would be no Varla without the things that Tura had experienced. Really.
Yeah. And you might not even know who she is. You've seen her image on t-shirts and, like all over. It's a powerful image. And it was really, looking back with Russ Meyer, he really was a radical filmmaker in the best of ways. And I'm curious, real quick, before we have 1,500 people watching live right now, we have a lot of questions in our chat. How did you get John Waters to be in the doc?
Okay, great question, great story. So obviously John Waters, ever since I think it was Shock Value, was like Tura's #1 fan. He right away, he comes out in that book and he says, this is the Pussycat is the best film ever made, probably the best film that will ever be made, right? He puts that in print. And like after that, he just became the #1 champion for the film. So when it came time to do the documentary, of course, one of our first reach outs was John Waters. And so we pitched John, and we get a letter to him, and the general consensus is, okay, he's John Waters. He's super busy. You'll probably hear from him in 3 or 4 months, right? Like, all right, that makes sense. That's fine. Like literally, it was, I think 2 days later, I'm in the checkout line at the 99-cent store, and my phone rings, and it's a Baltimore phone number, right? I'm like, no freaking way. And yes, it was John Waters saying, yes, I will do this. And it was just incredible. Like this was planned. Like they wanted to make this film while Tura was still alive. That the planets didn't really align then, unfortunately. But when it did come together shortly after her passing, it was just like so powerful. John said yes. Dita said yes. Margaret Cho said yes. All of them right out of the bat, because Tura had such a powerful and profound impact on all of them. So they were completely on board.
Let's go to questions in our chat. And also, I want to direct people actually to the website for the movie, which is turamovie.com. It's in select theaters now. And I think you're doing Q&As, or Margaret Cho is a part of that.
Yeah, our Los Angeles premiere was last Friday. And we did a Q&A with Margaret, and it was amazing. It was a packed house. It was a really lively crowd. It was great. We did a Saturday night Q&A with Pamela DeBar, also amazing. Hey, there you go. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And the film has been held over at the Lumiere Music Hall in Beverly Hills. So it was initially 2 days, then it was a week. Now they're holding it over for another week. So it's great. You know, I'm thrilled. And I've got to give a shout out to our distributor, Quiver, and you'll appreciate this as film guys. They are giving us a true theatrical window for the movie. They're giving us at least a 2-month window, because this film was meant for the big screen, and they appreciate that. So, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that.
So that's even better than Superman. You're getting a big theatrical window, being treated better than James Gunn.
What was the Superman window?
Yeah, it was like 35 days. Not that
All
great.
right.
So let's go down the comments. Uncle Jimmy Jam, where will this be available?
Okay, so right now, again, if you're anywhere in Los Angeles, it's at the Lumiere Music Hall, which was for years. I'm sure you've seen a million films there. It was the Laemmle Music Hall. Great theater.
Beautiful.
Yeah, amazing. So it's there for at least another week. Then look at my notes. Opening Friday the 21st in Columbus, Ohio at the Gateway Film Center for a week. But this is going to start adding theaters very rapidly. Like like there's a lot more stuff on the horizon. It just hasn't quite come into the schedule yet. But in the next couple of weeks, I think a lot more things are going to fall onto the,
So go to turamovie.com for theaters, and I'm sure eventual release on VOD, but gonna do a long window for the theaters. I will not eat the bug, says Cody. If you had to recommend a crash course on Tura Satana to newcomers, which movie would you recommend outside of Faster Pussycat?
Ooh. Okay, you're gonna have to help me with this, please. Okay. I'm gonna say, well, because they're all unique, right? Like Tura didn't. They're all unique, like the Ted Michaels films, and Irma la Douce is great. Irma la Douce is actually amazing, although not typical of the rest of her roles. But I mean, it's Billy Wilder. It's funny as hell. She's great in it. But okay, so there are several. It would be Irma la Douce to kind of get the flip side of the coin, and Astro Zombies, just for the over the top kitsch value, is insane. Oh my God, the Ted Michaels interview we did. Like, first of all of the interviews we got for the film, Ted, John Waters, Dita, whoever, everybody was so good. We could have made 9 of this film. There's so much good stuff I had to leave out. But, just the Astro Zombies and what it took to make that movie is hilarious and brilliant. So Astro Zombies, Irma la Douce, Sugar Box, but Tura's role is very small in that. We brought her into the process so late. But if you're a Pam Grier fan or like a Jack Hill fan, you would like that movie.
Yeah, our writer Michael Talbot Haynes, he says Pussycat, Astro Zombies, and Doll Squad.
Yeah, those are good.
Alan, if you would read these, I'll bring these up.
Excuse me. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Cody, did you ever hear the rumor of Tarantino supposedly remaking Faster Pussycat Kill Kill? Do you know if that was true?
Okay, so that rumor that's been around for at least 10 or 15 years. My chronology might be a little off, but I have heard that rumor. That rumor has even made it to IMDb and is part of the Pussycat page there, I believe. I don't know anything about that other than what everybody else knows. Like, I've heard a million different things. I don't know. But that would be obviously amazing if any. That was one of the interview questions. And John Waters is on record as saying if anybody could remake Pussycat, it would be Tarantino. Nobody else, just him. So,
all right, all twisted up. When did you start filming? You interviewed Kitten, but she's been gone for a while now.
Right. Okay. So Kitten, unfortunately, God, that was a killer. That was like 2 years ago, I think. So this film, like documentaries take a long time. Like what Mayor of the Sunset Strip took over 5 years. Chris, I mean, it's like, it's a long time to get the interviews, find the music, everything. It's a process. We've been into this for about a decade. So, yeah,
that's normal for a doc this ambitious. That seems takes about a decade. I mean, it's not the only thing I'm sure you're doing, but to get the people to do the interviews, it is doing a doc this ambitious, covering a historical topic. A decade sounds about right. So, yeah.
Okay, I don't feel so bad then.
Yeah, you should not. And Kitten, by the way, when I first moved to LA in 1989, I saw Kitten Natividad at the Seventh Veil strip club on Sunset. She danced in a giant champagne glass, and to the song, I'll never forget it. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no mountain high enough. And there's Kitten Natividad. I was in heaven. I'd first moved to LA, and I'll never forget it. So
that is amazing. That is incredible that you got to experience that. Wow.
I feel so lucky. More questions.
All right, ADL's 24. Tura passed away in 2011. Doesn't seem that long until you look at a calendar. Was the project on her career something you've been thinking about since then, or was it something you came into recently?
Well, yeah. Again, so Tura, like the real true origins of this is when Tura kind of entered the rebirth stage of her career at the end after Strand re-released Pussycat and VHS and DVD came out, and all of a sudden Pussycat was huge again, or huge for the first time, really, because it was not well accepted when it first came out. Suzanne, Tura's manager and best friend for years, Suzanne and Tura did tons of shows, tons of autograph shows, tons of appearances, and the one consistent theme was women approaching Tura and saying, listen, I've been so inspired by you and your life. I know what you've gone through. I love Varla, and you've inspired me to do better with my life, to get out of this shitty relationship, or to take back control over my life. That happened so much that it kind of occurred to Tura and Suzanne that's like, wait a minute, like this story is really empowering women. If we could get this out on a wider via like some kind of a wider vehicle to more people could benefit from this. And that's where the origins of this film idea came about while Tura was still alive. So.
All right. The nerd far away, Mr. Jarrett, do you think Tura saw herself as a feminist? Sorry if the question seems silly.
No, that's a good question. I mean, she was all about women and I'm kind of like marginalized people of any kind empowering themselves. So I don't know that she would define herself as a feminist in the sense, but she lived it. So I don't know that she ever came out and called herself a feminist, but other people certainly did.
That's what I think was great about her. She didn't really lecture; she lived it.
Right.
And you can be inspired by that or not, but she didn't lecture or speak all. Sometimes I think we get lectured at too much. Live the life you want to live and you'll find your tribe, I think. So, and I don't know if this is Adele is, I don't know about this question, but Alan, if you would.
Yeah, you were part of the cult classic film, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. Can you share any memories of being on set and what influence that experience had on you becoming a feature film director?
Wow, it's so great. I was thinking about this the other day. Okay, being in The Adventures of Ford Fairlane was insane fun. I can't possibly describe how much fun that was. Okay, because first of all, the whole movie, the rock and roll Andrew, incredible. He's at the top of his career. He had just sold out Madison Square Garden, the first comedian to ever do that, right? You've got Joel Silver, hadn't done The Matrix yet, but was coming off of films like, I don't know, Lethal Weapon. Rennie Harlan, at the time, Hollywood's hottest new director. And it was just like a crazy free-for-all of madness and insane fun. So the answer to that is it was freaking great. And in terms of it, that inspiring me to be a director, it wasn't that film so much. That was kind of, I was not even, how do I put this? Like I'd acted in some stuff and I'd been a musician for years, but I hadn't really considered directing. But then eventually I needed a different canvas. I needed a bigger canvas. So I started, started shooting short things and writing things and stuff. I'll tell you one thing. I was a stand-in for a long time. And that is a job that really, really, really gives you the tools you need to be a director. Because think about it. You're working with the DP, you're working with the director, you're working with the actors, you're working with the sound. You're technically learning things like where the lighting should be and how to hit marks. If you pay attention, you really learn a lot. So.
Amazing. All right. I will not eat the bugs. Cody, it's safe to assume that you're an exploitation film fan. Any hidden gems you'd recommend?
Oh God, there are so many. But the ones that have influenced me the most, obviously, Pussycat and Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. Those are not hidden gems. Those are just gems. A film I absolutely love is Sweet Sugar, right? Phyllis Davis, I think 1972, 73. Chris, have you seen it?
No.
You haven't seen Sweet Sugar?
Yes, I haven't seen it. I got some Sweet Sugar. Okay.
Oh my God, it's incredible. It's a prison camp movie, Phyllis Davis, machetes, revenge, but it's really good. Sweet Sugar is like the, and I pay homage to it in the documentary. And actually Sugar Box, Sweet Sugar. It's kind of Sweet Sugar was a big influence on Sugar Box. So yeah, that's
I would recommend Female Trouble by John Waters.
Yes.
Everyone talks about Pink Flamingos. Female Trouble is the movie that blew my mind. I'll never look at Cha-Cha Heels again the same again. Female Trouble is his master opus of early John Waters to me. But the book you recommended, I don't know if that's where I discovered Faster Pussycat, John Waters' book. The name.
Shock Value, was it?
Shock Value.
Right.
That's on my shelf. Like I bought it in the 80s. I love that book and is so, I don't know. I just so glad that you mentioned that. The movie Tura is in theaters. Go to turamovie.com. There's the website right there. You can click on theaters to get info. Coming in theaters. No date announced for VOD. I'm sure at some point, but congratulations, Cody. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Congrats on the movie. Congrats on a great review on Film Threat.
Yes.
And we hope to see you at Award This in January. That's our annual award show. You're eligible.
Oh, great.
Well, only 2 qualifications. Get a review on Film Threat and be available to see. And you check those boxes. And
right.
It's on our short list. So thank you so much, Cody.
It's just been a wonderful experience. I'm so glad to finally meet you. Like after years of kind of like being in the same orbit, it's just really terrific. And I really appreciate the review. I'm just grateful for all of it. And really thank you.
Yeah, and appreciate also just people that are like-minded, like similar things, eventually end up intersecting. I believe that. So
Right.
congrats. TuraMovie.com. Check it out. Thanks
you
again.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. And there you go. But
I
the
know. I'm gonna have to
show's
make my way out to Beverly Hills.
Yeah, well, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. You know, I haven't seen it, seen the trailer, know a lot about Tura, but it's great to talk to Cody about this. Hey, the show's not over yet. One final film to talk about today, and one that I saw back in 2016. My God, 9 years ago, I saw Shin Godzilla at a special screening in theaters and did not know what to make of it. It really kind of was a shock to me because the focus of the film, while Godzilla is a focus, first of all, a very different Godzilla, a more horror-inspired Godzilla. It's dripping blood.
It's an evolving Godzilla.
It's an evolving creature. It starts as a sea creature, a crawling creature, evolving into a creature that stands upright, that is just, basically nuclear powered Godzilla. It's horrific. But the focus of the movie, while it's a very different Godzilla, the focus of Shin Godzilla, which at the time was a complete shocker. I didn't know how to think of this movie. And then the more I watched it, I bought it on digital years ago. I bought on digital. The focus of the movie is on the government response to Godzilla. So you have different bureaus and agencies, and the opening of the movie is deciding what room to keep having the meeting. They changed the meeting room 3 times. That this bureau in charge of this minister and the prime minister, we got to meet with the prime minister. We need experts. This movie is about the ridiculous and incompetent response of the government to a force of nature that is Godzilla. So while you see Godzilla in a way we've never seen him, in ways that are destructive, the behind the scenes of how the government responds to Godzilla borders on comedic. While the crisis is serious, the audience I saw it with, I didn't laugh in 2016 when I saw this in a theater. The audience that I saw it with last night, packed theater in Burbank, were laughing and chuckling. And when it's serious, it's very serious. But the ridiculousness of the incompetence of the prime minister, and then the second prime minister, because bad things happen, it's shocking and also funny. And how the Americans get involved, and the US president, they have to think about global politics. They're already planning the reconstruction of, Japan after this event, how it will affect the economy. The things people talk about in Shin Godzilla, while this would seem to be real, if Godzilla did exist in the real world, these are the behind the scenes. We have to do a press conference. They have to prep for the press conference. This is Godzilla for adults, Godzilla as true horror. And it's also, in a way, a satire, much like I would compare to Dr. Strangelove. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove. Right. I don't know what you think of this movie. It's one of my favorite Godzilla movies. It's very different. It stands outside of any chronology or timeline. It's just a standalone Godzilla movie, and I love it. Can't recommend it enough. It's now in 4K. It looked beautiful on the screen, and I can't recommend it enough. It's right up there with Godzilla -1. Alan, what did you think of it? I want to talk later where the influences that led to why this movie was made. But Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, in terms of beautiful, it's a beautiful print, and 4K. Hadn't seen it. This is the first time I've seen it. I think overall I had a good time. I think the 2-hour runtime was a bit too long. I remember getting halfway through it and realizing, oh, it's not over yet, and it just kind of trudged on. I think deep down, my ultimate conclusion is, I like the experimental nature of this story in the sense of this is not how you normally tell a Godzilla movie, but to bring it to the ground, to say that to watch people make decisions, kind of the background of it. What was that movie? Remember that TV movie a long time ago about a nuclear weapon going off? Or I don't know if you remember that movie.
The Day After?
The Day After. That was it. That's what this reminded me of. Because it's not about the action that occurs above ground, but it's about all the decisions. It's very interesting. And like I say, I think the value to me of this movie is the thought experiment that was and the reason I mentioned this is I don't know that I necessarily want to see another one of these,
right?
But I think I've seen the potential of I think there's a lot of thought going on behind it.
Yes.
I think the politics at the end bothered me a little bit. There's a decision of using certain weapons from the Americans.
Yes.
And
I'm
like
the optics of that.
Yeah, I'm like, we're gonna not do it because of the optics. And I'm like, is that how 6 people who lead the world make decisions, as opposed to making the choices needed to save the world. But yeah, so definitely worth watching, especially if you're a Godzilla fan, and also if you like these big kaiju monster movies. The perspective on it is interesting, because I remember I saw Shin Ultraman before this, and the 2 very different movies, handled kind of in the same way, but I like this one better than I did Shin Ultraman.
Yeah, this is much better than that. But
yeah,
let me get into. So you recommend it?
I do recommend it.
But what this movie is really about, it's a critique of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster, the nuclear meltdown that happened
from the tsunami, right?
Yeah, in March of 2011 in Japan. It's a critique of the government response to that disaster in Fukushima Daiichi. So, this is. I'm not reading into it. This has been talked about by a lot of people. So that's what this is about. It's in a way a critique of the government response and how they cared more about optics, how things looked, press conferences, than doing the right thing for the people. And the bloated government of Japan, this showed the incompetent, bloated government of Japan, showing how they reacted to things. They cared more about how things looked than actually doing what's right for the people and saving people and mobilizing. And we got to talk to this head of this organization, and
or worse, letting the Americans get involved.
Yeah, let the Americans and the other global forces kind of control their destiny. And what happens is the government is in shambles, gets basically gets worn down to a lower level guy now has maybe a shot at being the prime minister. In soon because of his actions. And maybe the bloated people who care more about politics and how they look, maybe those people will fade away and better people will come in governance, to make quicker and smarter decisions. So I love this movie. I remember at the time being very, very confused about the film and what it was trying to say. And it's really holds up. And I will say the audience that saw it loved it. They knew it was okay to laugh. But at the time, I think the only line that made me laugh was the girl says, "Where's there a Zara?" They mentioned Zara in it. And everybody laughs out loud. Like, she needs clothes. Is there a Zara close? Like, what's really going on, behind the scenes when government is having to deal with a crisis? We had the fires in January in Los Angeles. Someone make a comedy about how the fires in Los Angeles, maybe not directly about the fires, but about maybe you have a character that's sort of a smaller black woman with glasses based on Mayor Karen Bass, maybe a guy that's sort of a slick guy who looks like American Psycho, how they horribly handled everything.
You don't need to make a comedy; just make the documentary, and it'll be a comedy.
Yeah, well, I'll say that, like, I think it's very brave and bold to make a movie like this, 5 years after that nuclear meltdown.
And to be critical of the government for it.
Why can't we be critical and not choosing a side? Yeah, put that aside. I'm tired of left, right, this side of the aisle, that side of the aisle. A critique of it, open-minded, not caring about your team, living through the fires. And I was not really affected all that much by the fires in LA, but my God, someone needs to Shin Godzilla current politics, because we are dealing with really unimpressive people. And that's what this movie is about. The unimpressive people in government and how things really work behind the scenes. If a force of nature, a thing called Godzilla, emerges, and what are the discussions they really have? And this nails it. It's a satire bordering on comedy, like on the level of Dr. Strangelove. So strong recommend for Shin Godzilla. And please maybe make another movie like this, if anyone in the entertainment industry is listening. Any other final thoughts, Alan, before we
I'll give you my one criticism. This movie moves at a mile a minute, and the cuts, the edits and the cuts are fast. It's an ADD's dream. Let's put it that way. So much so that there are title plates with a lot of text on it, and there's no way for you to read it.
It goes so quick. And I love when they introduce, like, there'll be the minister of public affairs, like they introduce they show how ridiculous it is.
Yeah. And to the point of, I'm not saying that everyone on screen looks alike, but they look alike. And I'm having a hard time remembering who was what role and what role was this and what role was that.
Once the guy, the lead guy emerges, then there's a guy, he has kind of a guy that helps him who has a lisp. Mm-hmm. Like, he's like, oh, I know the person in France. I got a back door to France, like, and they're nuclear power. We'll get them on our side.
And the hot Japanese liaison.
The hot U.S. Japanese liaison whose grandmother is from Japan. Like, she has roots in Japan. Like, it was all like, there are people who emerge. It is sort of a blur because there's so many characters, but then that you see the ones emerge. It's fantastic.
Once it settles in, it's easy to follow. But right up front, there's so much going. So many people to introduce.
Yeah, and this isn't Godzilla -1. That is very different. This is a very different from that. And there's parts of this that even feel documentary like, but my God, I loved it. I'll go see it again. And I own both versions, dubbed and subbed. I just bought it. I'm a consumer.
How's the dubbed?
Not great. Not great. So, but strong recommend from both of us.
Absolutely.
Let's go to comments.
All right, Blue Hulk for 5. Do you think the bad Godzilla effects were on purpose? He looked like a PlayStation 3 graphic, in my opinion. I felt like that was more an homage than a.
It was more of an homage.
I mean, that first iteration of Godzilla
is weird.
Was weird.
It's goofy with the bulging eyes.
Yeah, and it's kind of wiggling down the street that way
and dripping blood.
Yeah. Go Party Time. There should be an Office or Parks and Rec style series about the fires. Yeah. Rhaegar Targaryen Prime. My only complaint is that a lot of information appears on screen too fast alongside with subtitles, and I couldn't catch all of it, and I'm a fast reader. Yeah. Yep. Just me. Darth Yeager, a movie about government incompetence.
Yes, let's do that. Let's critique the government for once and not be called conspiracy theorists. Turn it into entertainment.
Yeah. Brock Samsonite, you could watch Shin Godzilla in 4DX.
Ooh.
Yeah. ADLS, the Gojira design on this film always bothered me.
Well,
yeah, I mean, look, it got better at the end. Look how
it got better at the end.
I think that was intentional. I think there was an homage.
it's better than the Godzilla, the US made Godzilla movie, which I thought was terrible with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. I mean, these monsters should always look like a guy in a suit.
In some way.
No.
All right. We're gonna wrap it up and leave it there, but I don't want to remind people I will be in Atlanta for Dragon Con, August 28th through 31st. Here's my I gotta remove that. Here's my schedule. If you can read that, this is like a Shin Godzilla subtitles. There's so much to read on screen. It's too much, but I'll be in Atlanta for Dragon Con. Here's my schedule. I will probably do an impromptu meetup after one of those panels, depending on where we are. And there you go. So follow me there. I'll post on social media as well. And that wraps it up. We'll be back Monday with Versus. We'll talk Alien Earth, weekend box office, news. Alan, what do you got coming up this weekend?
I may or may not be in Long Beach for the month.
I will be in Long Beach for Midsummer Scream. So if you're going to Midsummer Scream, a horror convention in Long Beach, look for me. Alan, when am I seeing you there? Well, text me. Let me know if you go.
I will.
All right.
It'll have to be like Saturday afternoon when I go.
I'm same. Thanks to our mod, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, Atomic Lori, Glenn Uccio, and thanks to everyone who commented, left a super chat, left polite comments and questions. We appreciate it. So there you go. All right. Cool. Okay. That wraps it up. Have a great weekend, everybody. Go to the movies in a theater. And Alan, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, let's get out of here.